G'day and welcome back for more Space Engineers Survival. During the day, I did some upgrades to this vehicle which now give it a gun. Unfortunately, that gun has nothing it can fire, which is, well, a little unhelpful. And a few people have mentioned that it's not particularly well armoured, and I completely agree. We hopefully will never actually run into battle with this thing, but I thought having the cannon on top might help just in case I do something silly and get into battle anyway. The other thing that someone suggested, which I think is just perfect, especially since I loved the cartoon, we need to recolor this thing. And I'd say about somewhere around that blue is probably going to be about right. Because there's another type of arachnid that this sort of looks like, and that's a tick. There we go. We've got our tick. What I think I need to check is I did mine some magnesium way back at the start, but that magnesium, I'm not sure if I've got enough to make ammunition. So if we go to our production window, we need 3 magnesium powder for each box of ammunition, and we have a grand total of 32 units, which is only going to give us 10 boxes of ammo, which is probably not enough. So at some point tonight we're going to need to mine some magnesium. I might just have a look and see how many solar cells we've made. Once I get some hydrogen, we can pop those onto the tower so I don't forget them at any point. And while I'm thinking about solar power, how much power do I have left in the batteries? Oh. That's not good. There is, not enough. The days on this planet are 2 hours long, and if the sun isn't fully set and I have to wait till early sunrise before I get power again, there's only 21 minutes left. It doesn't take, well, even with my mathematical abilities, it's quite clear that we're going to run out. That's not good. So I need to figure out why, well, not figure out why, I know why. Figure out what we can do to try and make things a bit more efficient tonight to make it last just that little bit longer. And our arc furnaces use 330 kilowatts each. Our assembler uses half that, and so does our refinery. So the assembler and refinery are probably important to keep on. If I'm going to leave the refinery on and turn off some arc furnaces, if I do that, how's our battery situation now? 39 minutes. Still not very good. Let's turn off the other one. How long now? 2 hours. Okay. So we've got 2 hours of battery life left. And the only way we can get another efficiency module onto this refinery is to get rid of those batteries. And I don't think... I mean, I could spend the whole night manually moving everything to this refinery, having it completely disconnected, and just basically grinding down this whole thing. But I really don't want to shuffle all of this iron, all of this other stuff by hand, because my suit inventory is not very big. But if I move these batteries, I can still use that refinery, and I could make it even slightly more efficient. And if I move the assembler, I could get a 4th efficiency module onto it. And the only way for me to move those batteries without losing all of their power would be to put another battery on the base. So we're going to need another 120 power cells, as I don't think I have any at all. Then I should be able to shift the charge from these 2 batteries into that other one. There might be some efficiency loss there, but hopefully that'll be offset by having an extra power efficiency module on the refinery. And while that's building, maybe we can get this assembler moved over to here. Because I know I'd planned to move it down there, but that's going to require a few more conveyor blocks. If instead I finish these three, and then I put a junction in here. Let's grab those. So if I put a junction in here, and then put the assembler directly out from it, I'll be able to fit all four around it. So I think that's what we should do right now. I suspect I'm going to spend a lot of tonight gradually moving bits and pieces so that we can get our efficiency maximized while we wait to get everything done. Let's just burn through a bit of power to get this nickel up and done. I don't want to wait around. If I'm going to build an extra battery, it will come with some charge of its own. And I wonder if the amount of charge it comes with is more than it's going to cost me from my current position to get that, to get the components. So am I going to get more power out of the new components I make than it costs me in power to generate them? Might be an interesting experiment to try at some point. See if you can go from ore to battery with less power than it takes let's start that again. See if you can go from ore to batteries and gain energy in doing so. Oh, almost there. Almost got that assembler done. All right, let's grab the last few computers. Perfect. Then we can start moving the power efficiency modules onto this new assembler. And off the old one. And stop constructing at the old one. I don't know that I'm going to get a huge difference in efficiency by having the fourth one on there, but I know I'm not going to stop running the assembler, so I may as well try and get every little bit out of it. So let's stop that at 97 to go. Stop all those. Let's select our new assembler, which is down the bottom here. We need 97 of these. Okay. Now, other thing to check. That's what I thought. Let's move these out of here so that we don't end up dropping them when I start grinding it down. Let's move these power efficiency modules across. Every time I think I get close to getting the power situation all sorted, this game just comes back and proves to me that I don't have a freaking clue. And that's the assembler broken down. Now, this has created another problem. This refinery is no longer connected up to the connector or the cargo container. It is connected up to the assembler, so that's okay, but anything that was in the cargo container is now inaccessible to it. So I'm going to need to build those conveyor connections as well, otherwise I'm going to be in a spot of bother. And maximum power efficiency on the assembler, which means it uses up how much? 112, so we saved 57 kilowatts, which is not much. Oh, depleted in 13 minutes. I'm going to turn those arc furnaces back off. That was a little much. Oh yeah, an hour. That's about right. And how many of these batteries do we have left to go? So we're halfway through the batteries. Okay. Let's see whether we've got enough pieces to build our connection that we need here. Probably help if I had the building materials on me. And we're connected up again. Good. This base is going to need some prettying up after I get my power situation under control. So right now, it is a mess. It's getting worse with this thing in the way. While that's building the rest of the batteries, or the power cells, let's decide where we'll put this battery. I think the server room's probably a good spot, and maybe if we put the batteries in between any programmable blocks that we need in here. So I think that side's the better look. We pop that there. I think that'll look alright. So now we just need construction components. And all the hundreds of power cells. And we've got our last power cells. How much power are we going to add to the base when we do this? How long to the battery? Fully depleted in 2 hours for those two. 16, 10, 9. I'm going to do this because there's only 138 kilowatt hours. There's not really that much in there. I'm going to set battery 3 to recharge and I'm going to empty out the other 2. Let's do it. We'll deplete these and then I'm going to get rid of them and I'm going to build another power efficiency module onto the refinery. I really would love to add a yield to it instead, but it looks like I can't quite afford that yet. I will almost certainly be able to afford it once I'm moving the refineries into their new refinery room, but that's not possible right now. And the batteries are empty. So now, need to turn this off, recharge. Fully depleted in 4 hours. Okay, I think we can get our arc furnaces back online then. Fully depleted in 2 hours. 1 hour. Yeah, I think we can manage 1 hour. Alright, let's grind these suckers down. Unfortunately losing their power cells. There's the scrap metal that was their power cells. Let's place down another battery in the server room. I'm not going to build the power cells for it yet, but at least I'll have it ready to go. I think we can stack 2 on top of each other like this. And that'll look alright. That way, if we need any other thing, we can put it up there. And then another programmable block if we need one. And that will look alright. So, turns out building this thing was a good idea, because we've gotten those arc furnaces up and running. And we can run them probably the rest of the night, at least the 2 of them that I've got online at the moment. And that should get us plenty more of the solar panels that I'm currently producing. Which will maybe get us into power positive tomorrow. And this efficiency module, which needs a whole bunch of stuff that I don't have. With that power efficiency module on there, I feel like I've got our power situation okay for the night. Battery 3 says we're depleted in an hour. So with that power efficiency module finished, we've got our refinery and our assembler both maximally power efficient, and showing just why I really need to get onto having all of my things for refineries and not using these arc furnaces, since right now they're using almost 3 times as much power as either the assembler and refinery, which is not so great. But we're good for tonight, and that means it is time to go and get some magnesium. Leave these back here, finishing off a bunch more solar cells. I really hoped that I was done with this power misering thing. I feel like, well, it's that time of year, so I feel like the Grinch every time. Let's do this fun thing. No, can't do that. Don't have the power. And looks like my light assault vehicle is becoming my mining transport again. And yes, I'm going to be driving at night. Where is that magnesium mine? Straight ahead of us. Oh, actually, before I start mining at night, let's do one little thing that I didn't remember to replace. Well, there's actually two things I didn't replace on that vehicle. I didn't replace the antenna, but I also didn't replace the light. And also, I don't think this blue is quite right. It's a bit more, I think it's a bit more that color. Yes, that's it. That's the color. Much better. Now we're looking like the Tick from the cartoons. Alright. So the other thing, other than the antenna, that I wanted to add back onto here was I want to add lights back around it so that we can see when driving at night. I'd kind of forgotten about them before because I was not planning on driving at night again, because we all know that I'm terrible driving and nighttime's just high risk, but there's nothing I can do here at base. I just have to wait. So I'm going to get impatient and I'm going to go mine. And I just ditched everything I needed to make the lights. Gah! Alright, let's get these lights on board the Tick and we'll be good to go. Maybe one there. Could probably get one on the back here, actually. And then another one on this side to match. Gives a bit better situational awareness at night. Hopefully prevent one or two crashes. That's okay. Probably don't need them that bright though, because that's going to chew through my power. There we go. We have a glow. Alright, let's start gingerly driving. Oh, other thing. Let's try this. Everyone wanted me to, so let's do it. Or a lot of people wanted me to. Don't know if it was everyone. Let's chuck our friction up. Since apparently the friction behavior on wheels has changed slightly and we might want a little more in order to be able to stop. And I am getting better braking now, so that's probably about where I want it to be. It seems reasonably safe. I can slow myself down. I'm not catching when I use my gyroscope steering, and I can steer a little bit with the wheels. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did I do something very silly? No. Oh, phew. I thought I'd forgotten my drill. That would have been annoying. But I've got it. Suppose that's one upside of being inefficient and carrying it around with me all of the time. Let's reverse up to the mine hole so that we can offload quickly. And park. Time to get some more magnesium. As always, I'm going to pop back once I'm done. If anyone's wondering why I'm back hand mining, that's because the ugly duckling's out of power. Its battery is completely dead. I can't even move it off that connector. And that's the other reason why I haven't moved that connector. I might have accidentally allowed its battery to be used to power the base, and now it's completely dead atop that connector. So until I start getting a power surplus, I am stuck with hand drilling. At least I got lots of iron before I did that silly little error. And we're done. This is the last load, and I've now got to make it back up the hill at night without crashing. At least uphill I'm going slower, so it's usually a little bit easier. So we're about 1.25 k's from home. We should be able to do that. Whee! This is definitely... Oh, actually, stop. Before I go too far up the hill, let's up our wheel suspension strength since we're kind of close to bottoming it out. Let's put it up to, let's try 12. Oh, yep. Seems about right. And we don't appear to be going anywhere despite me accelerating fully. Okay then, fine. Be that way. Let's create a group so I stop having to select these all the time. And increase our power. And increase our friction further. Let's try 50. Let's go dangerous. There we go. Now we can drive uphill. And I'm only daring to put the friction that high because I am in single player. If I was in multiplayer, I basically would not dare do that, as you'd get... Even with the updates, I think it's still a bit unsafe to do that. Even in single player, having high friction does increase your chance of rolling, which is why I have a habit of building low and wide vehicles, as that prevents rolling reasonably effectively. None of this SUV style building for me. Come on, I know you're heavy, but you can do it. You can do it. Come on. Come on. Yeah. All right. Oh, I just remembered something. I think the base still has a few lights on it. I could probably turn those off to save a bit of power. Not sure how significant the power saving is, but I should probably do it anyway. That's job number one as I return home. Don't really need to get the magnesium out of this thing until I can actually refine it, but I don't have anything else to do tonight. That will be my other job. Let's see if I can reverse this up the hill a little bit to get it a bit closer to the stairs. Save a bit of distance on the trips, and no, not really. Oh well, that's not too bad. It's better than I normally did. Yeah. It looks a bit silly, but I do kind of like it in blue. How are we going with our solar cell manufacturing? Oh, not too bad. How are we going with our battery power? We're definitely just down below an hour. Let's check our light situation. We got these lights. Let's turn them off. And what little power that saved us might make a small difference. I think I know I've said this before, but oh, hello. Hello. We are getting cheat power for a time. I'm not going to turn that down. Not with how tight things are at the moment. This is the weirdness of the way that planetary voxels sometimes block the sunlight and sometimes don't. I've been told that it might be about 100 meters away that the voxels stop blocking light. That's something I want to test amongst a few other things about how the solar panel blocking actually works at a later stage. Not sure how soon I'll get onto that test. There's a bunch of physics things I want to do first. And still got autopilot tests few more autopilot tests to do as well. Now that we've got power... Is our battery gaining power? Fully recharged in an hour? Oh yeah. Heck yeah. Alright. If we're fully recharged in an hour, that means I can turn on arc furnace all the three. Turn you on. And I should probably make enough power cells for another battery. Yeah, let's do that first. I do need a bit of nickel, but not as much as solar cells, so I'll still save up some while I'm going. I might. Or, actually, since I don't need quite as much nickel as the solar cells, I should be able to get these produced relatively quickly. And I've already laid out the position for the other ones, so that's good. We got a second new battery on here. We actually might be okay for power for a couple more days. Ooh, this is good. And in a couple of days, we should have heaps more solar cells, so we'll be good. Yay! Power is not the disaster that I thought it was. I'm incredibly lucky that I didn't go mine before I realized that I was going to run out of power. But I feel relaxed again about it. Let's empty out the tick. And we'll jump ahead to when that's done. So that's going to take me a while. And the tick's nice and empty now. We've got how much more of those batteries to go? Halfway there. Tell you what, right now I am very, very tempted to build on more than just one battery. With the sun coming up soon, I wonder, although I suspect once I build the second one I'll probably find that it'll take longer to charge than the day. I just don't want to get in a situation where there's power generated during the day that I haven't saved. If I'm actually throwing away solar power during the day and then almost running out at night, that's gonna make me sad. So I don't want that situation. It looks like one of these arc furnaces is out of nickel. So let's pop that across in there. We've got plenty of iron refined already. Don't need that silver. Let's refine some magnesium. Got 3 arc furnaces producing nickel. That should be plenty for the assembler. Alright, let's start building that battery because it's going to take me quite a few trips. Last few power cells for this battery. Let's see what situation we're in after that's built. We started the night with 2 batteries that were going to be depleted in 21 minutes, and we've ended the night with 2 batteries that are going to be depleted in 3 hours, fully recharged in 3 hours, I should say. Both with almost 1 megawatt of power. That is an energy positive night somehow. I don't know quite how I managed that, but I'll take it. Cool. Got our magnesium. Got our power situation sorted out. The sun's going to start peeking up over the horizon shortly. We've got our solar panels generating magically through the planet, which, as I've said, I'll take, because I need the power. And it's not like I cheated to make it happen. It just happened. I'm just going to check if the tick runs out of power anytime soon, leaving those lights on. 1 day. That's quite a while. There's even... But I think I might put these off anyway. As now it's Still one day. Right. Turret? Whatever. That's fine. 24 hours of battery time. Hopefully in 24 hours I'm going to have enough power that I can connect this up to the base and recharge it properly. So that won't be an issue. Because I don't think I'm even 24 hours into this game yet. Since those batteries say it's going to be 3 hours until they're charged, I don't need to worry about adding any more batteries to the system. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What's going on here? Oh dear. Oh no! How am I going to fix this? I might need to grind down this battery on top and... Oh, the ugly duckling's dead in the water. Oh, I'm so silly. Why did I do that? I should have had it off the base. Should never have let that battery get completely depleted. Now it's stuck. And it's disconnected from this connector and I can't turn it on without adding a battery or a reactor to it. Oh, actually, I've got the parts for a small reactor, don't I? And I got 0.1 uranium. That might be enough to lock it down. Let's try it. What else can I do? Okay. Let's do this quickly because we don't have much uranium. Need to remote control. And park. Yes. Yes! Now the battery should get charged. Take that uranium back out. Let's grind this thing back down. Phew. Oops. Well, that was lucky that I did get that drop from ages ago. Didn't think I'd end up using it that way, but whatever works. Whatever works. I wonder how well I might be able to go in producing all of the parts to get these conveyors built. I really would like to start redesigning the front of the base. Now that I've made massive holes in it everywhere and made it into a jumbled mess, it might be nice to start the redesign. And I'd like to move this map, which is just an LCD image that I made with Space Engineer's Image to LCD. I'd like to move that into here. Maybe even make a bigger map covering like the whole wall. That'd be pretty cool. And then on the other side, I want to put Izzy's solar script output onto an LCD. Maybe put a few other LCDs that tell us about power output and things like that. Obviously, I don't want to add all of those LCDs in if I'm going to be running out of power, since doing that might use up a bit of power in itself. And that would be silly. But those are some of my plans to come. Maybe today would be... Ooh, that's what I want to do. I want to make the tick able to jump. Don't need it to fly properly, but it needs to be able to jump. Because I want to start exploring and see if I can identify the locations of any of those other bases. And that means ammunition and thrusters. There's that and plenty more to come as the sun's about to rise. So, I'll see you then.